Well, hello everyone. My name is Miranda and welcome to my channel, Enchantress of Avalon. Now, I am a writer and a blogger. I run a blog that I have titled White Rose of Avalon. I started the blog in January, and this channel very much is going to work in conjunction with that blog. My blog is really my place to say everything that interests me. I am a huge fan of myth, folklore, legends, and fairy tales, as well as a healthy dose of history. So that's what you get when you're reading my blog. I also post my original fiction, my short stories, and my poetry on my blog. Now, why did I want to start a channel? Well, this is a way to help grow my audience and also just connect with some more people. I'm really interested in getting to know who's interested in the same things that I am, who wants to journey to Avalon, who wants to broaden their horizons and live a little bit of a more magical life. I am a big supporter of magic and fairies, and in my heart and my soul, I view myself as living on the Isle of Avalon, and I would be really happy to help others journey there as well. So, first of all, for this first video, I wanted to do a brief introduction about myself, and I also would really love to have some input by people that are interested. So I would welcome any and all comments from those of you who are watching this video. And I'll explain a little bit about Avalon. Avalon is the enchanted Isle of Apples, or sometimes it's called the Isle of Glass or the Isle of Crystal. It is the place where Arthur was taken after his death at the final battle of Camlan, where he and Mordred slew each other simultaneously. He was taken on a barge that was directed by three queens to a magical island called Avalon. Avalon would be where he would rest until his country needed him again. So this wasn't a permanent death so much as a place to heal and to await his time to come again. That's where we get the once and future king. This started with Geoffrey of Monmouth's work, the Vita Merlini, which is his lesser known work. It is not as well known or as well read, except by people like me who are obsessed with Avalon and with magic, as his earlier work. His earlier work was The History of the Kings of Britain, and that was a fictitious history book that was written by this monk, Geoffrey of Monmouth, and it was one of the first works that we have that explains who Arthur Pendragon is and gives us the basis of his story. So everything kind of grew from History of the Kings of Britain. But what's important about the Vita Merlini is it is the first mention of Avalon, even though he technically doesn't call it Avalon. And it gives us a very brief description. It's really only about a paragraph long. But not only do we get a very clear picture of what Avalon is, we get a very clear picture of the earliest version of Morgan Le Fay, who is my favorite Arthurian figure ever. Guinevere's a close second. I'll talk a lot about both of them, as well as Welsh Celtic goddesses. You'll hear a lot about that on this channel. And that first picture of Morgan Le Fay is not our traditional Arthurian antagonist. It is not what we view as the Great Morgan, the scary witch, the evil sorceress. This is not the vision we get originally. The original version of Morgana Le Fay is, well, she's introduced as Morgan, Morgen, by Geoffrey of Monmouth, and she is the leader of 9 sisters on the Isle of Avalon. She's a great healer. She is a fairy woman, and read between the lines, you get goddess overtures, but it has to be read between the lines. It never outright states her as a goddess, although the Mabinogion, a body of Welsh Celtic texts, never states that any of those figures were deities, even though those of us who know our Celtic deities know that deities like Rhiannon were in fact gods and goddesses. They were not simply figures in these tales. Now, Morgan is described in that first passage as a healer, as the leader of the Ninefold Sisterhood, and as the most powerful and the most beautiful, because in the medieval period, beauty was linked to being good, and ugliness was linked to being evil. And we see this carry on through the Renaissance period. We have Shakespeare writing about Richard III. Richard III as this ugly, deformed monarch with this humpback and this withered arm. Well, turns out he really did have severe scoliosis, as we found out in 2012 when his body was discovered. But the reasoning behind Shakespeare describing him that way was ugliness was seen as evil, and this character is supposed to be evil. Just like beauty is seen as good. So you have this very beautiful magical woman in the original Morgan Le Fay by Geoffrey of Monmouth's version of her. And she's beautiful, she's powerful, and she's magical. And she is here to heal Arthur. We also learn about Avalon as this amazing place that Monmouth has created. It is in his imagination, but probably drawing on a lot of older lore. Avalon is an island nation ruled by a Ninefold Sisterhood. It is a place of magic. It is a place of the fairies. These sisters themselves probably are fairies or have fairy blood. And it's a place that grows everything of its own free will. Nothing needs to be cultivated. It just grows wild. And I think that's absolutely lovely. I adore that type of description. And it also is a place where fruits like apples and grapes grow year-round. Nothing needs to be tended. It just grows and it sustains itself. This isn't a place that needs a lot of tending to. And that is where Morgana and her sisters are living and teaching and learning the power. Oh, there's my cat. Anyway, of this beautiful place. So that's just my brief little introduction to what this channel is and what Avalon is. So I hope you've enjoyed, and if you're hungry for more knowledge, please go to my website, whiteroseofavalon.life, and I would love to hear your comments, thoughts, concerns on any of the things I've been talking about. And additionally, I will be working on a Twitch channel. It is Avalon Enchant on twitch.tv. So you can find me there live on Monday and Friday nights. And I will probably be going live for about a half hour to an hour each time. And you can get commentary right as I'm doing things. So steer the conversation however you'd like it. I'm up for comments and concerns. And I would hope to also upload those directly here after the fact. And I will occasionally be posting videos just here on YouTube at the Enchantress of Avalon. And once again, my name is Miranda. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you at my website, whiteroseofavalon.life. You could also follow me on Twitter at Avalon Enchant. Adieu.